Time Walk with Me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Time Walk with me. I can't believe I forgot to do a video for my Tom Bombadil deck. In fact, it took me this long because I assumed that I had already made it. Well, better Nate than Lever. Tom Bombadil. I got this guy in my very first pack of Lord of the Rings, and as soon as I saw his mana cost, I knew I had to make a deck around him. He is a 4/4 legendary god bard who costs 1 mana of every color. He is indestructible as long as there are at least 4 lore counters among sagas you control, and he does one other cool thing. When the last ability of a saga goes off and it goes to the graveyard, you get to reveal cards from the top of your library until you hit another saga. Then that saga goes onto the battlefield and the rest of the revealed cards go to the bottom of your library in a Rodman order. So this basically builds itself. It wants sagas, enchantresses, and I guess lands probably. I don't know if there will be any surprises here, but it's possible. When I played this deck, it got difficult to keep up with all the triggers, and my turns were going a bit long, but that's exactly how I like to play. I'm a bad person. It's important to remember that sagas work by adding lore counters to them. Each chapter triggers after your draw step, but before your pre-combat main phase, and the chapter that corresponds to the number of lore counters after one is added is the chapter that is triggered. That means that if you can manipulate the number of lore counters on a saga, you can manipulate the effects of the saga. Azusa's Many Journeys / Likeness of the Seeker, Befriending the Moths / Imperial Moth, Behold the Unspeakable / Vision of the Unspeakable, Boseiju Reaches Skyward / Branch of Boseiju, Fall of the Imposter, Inventive Iteration / Living Breakthrough, Michiko's Reign of Truth / Portrait of Michiko, Oath of the Grey Host, Scroll of Isildur, Tales of Master Seshiro / Seshiro's Living Legacy, Teachings of the Kirin / Kirin Touched Orochi, The Bath Song, The Cruelty of Gix, The Dragon Kami Reborn / Dragon Kami's Egg, The Fall of Lord Khanda / Fragment of Khanda, The Long Reach of Night / Animus of Night's Reach, There and Back Again, The Shattered States Era / Nameless Conqueror, and Waking the Trolls. Brago, King Eternal. When this guy does combat damage to a player, and not to a planeswalker, you can blink as many of your non-land permanents as you want, which resets the lore counters on all your sagas, and triggers their first chapters, at least all the sagas that you blink. Calyx, Destiny's Hand. Clock Spinning. This can increase or decrease the number of lore counters on a saga, and for 4 mana, it can do it repeatedly. Destiny Spinner. Enchantress's Presence. Enlightened Tutor. Goldberry, River Daughter. This lady can move lore counters around. Go Shintai of Life's Origin. This is the commander of one of my decks. Its first ability makes it a great fit for this deck. You can use it to keep telling the same tale over and over again. Hannah, Ship's Navigator. Like with the previous card, this recycles sagas. Jukai Naturalist. Mesa Enchantress. Pious Wayfarer. Satsuki the Living Lore. This rushes all of your sagas, and if it dies, it can bring one of your sagas back to your hand from the graveyard or the battlefield. Satyr Enchanter, and I looked it up. It is pronounced Satyr. Satyr. So, there you go. Shimmerwing Chimera. I put this in here to recur the Omen enchantments, but it works on sagas too. Sky Blessed Samurai. Starfield Mystic. Since sagas have a limited lifespan, this will inevitably start collecting +1/+1 counters, or 1/1 counters as people tend to call them. Sithis, Harvest's Hand. Tragic Poet. We got Arcane Signet, Commander's Sphere, Cultivate, Delighted Halfling. This is a very lucky pull. Don't go out and buy this card, it's too expensive. Do a proxy. Farseek, Gift of Paradise, Hedron Archive, Invasion of Zendikar, Nissa's Renewal, Omen of the Hunt, Revive the Shire, and Soul Ring. Beast Within, Disenchant, Krosan Grip, Naturalize, and Swords to Plowshares. So, oddly enough, No generous gift. I just didn't have another one. Omen of the Dead. Regrowth and Resurgent Belief. Abundance. You know how much I like this card. Extinguish All Hope. This is a cheerful card, don't you think? Farewell. This allows me to be as selective as I want as I wipe the board, though a real board wipe would also destroy lands. Joda's Codex. This was made to be put in a 5-color deck. Omen of the Sun. With all the ways to bring enchantments back from the graveyard, this could end up making quite a few soldiers. Saga Cryptomancer. This is here just to protect Tom Bomb. You may notice that the lands in this deck don't include any sort of dual lands or tap lands or anything like that. That is because I decided with the non-basic lands in this deck, they should sacrifice to grab me any land that I need, or tap for any color of mana with whatever price I may have to pay for that, and that's like cards like Rupture Spire. So it makes things a little slow, but it's not that bad. Plains, Island, Swamp, Mountain, Forest, 5 of each. Archway Commons, Ash Barrens, Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, Fabled Passage, Nesting Grounds. This lets me rush some sagas while delaying others. Path of Ancestry, Rupture Spire, Terramorphic Expanse, and the World Tree. So there we have it. That is my Tom Bombadil deck, or Tom Bomb, as I like to call him. What do you think of that? I'll catch you next time.